Hi Cancers, welcome back to this channel, especially today. Thank you so much for coming in. Today marks the first birthday of Perryn with the Lord, and Pam has been 6 years, 4 months and 8 days. Close friends and family members today has put up a special video to say a few words to both of them. Please enjoy.
It's been a year since we lost Per, for her to join the big party in the sky along with Pam. I'm sure they're having a wonderful time at the moment, and we're all feeling a bit of FOMO being left out of the party, but surely we're just waiting in the guest list in line or waiting to enter the club. To say that this year has been an easy year would probably be a false statement. Whilst we all miss Per, me particularly, given that she was such a big part of my life, we all take solace that she made it into the club earlier than us. She's probably got the table ready with Pam and just waiting around for us to join the big party with her. So rather than be sad, every day I know we feel a bit sad and we miss both Per and Pam. We just take today to remember her life and just give thanks. I think we just need to be thankful for everything. Thankful that she left a big imprint on our lives. Thankful that because of her, we have grown as people and we have become better people. So Per, whilst we do miss you, we thank you for being with us and journeying with us on this earth. And we look forward to joining you and Pam for the party in the sky. And I hope you have the bottles ready, and I hope the table that you've reserved for us is big enough for all of us to join.
Hi everyone, I'm Yeronn, Perryn's brother. She first started this channel for really a couple of reasons. Mainly to sort of encourage people out there, and also to allow people to journey with her. And it's been 1 year since she left us, so I thought I'd do the same also, right? I don't really know what to say, but let's just see how it goes. When I get asked this question, I think my standard go-to answer is always, I'm okay, I'm fine, everything's okay. But to be completely honest, it has been extremely difficult. We miss her a lot still, and I think we will always miss her. We think about her every day. And it's difficult because, losing someone who you share everything with, the good news, the bad news, and that person is no longer around, so it feels like there's a void inside of me. Being the helping industry, I think it's easy to go through the stages of grief in my head, but there's always this constant push and pull on whether I really want to accept that she's no longer with us. But I guess in times like this, I'm also reminded of the many people that she has blessed, and I'm just grateful to be one of them. I guess I cope by keeping myself busy, always finding new things to do, new shows to watch, and yeah, I'm grateful that I've got strong social support in my friends and family. Has it shaken my faith? Of course it has, I feel that I've been let down not once, but twice. But I guess what is faith if it's not being tested, right? And, why should I not believe in something that her has believed in, really until her last breath? If you know me, I'm not one who shares openly about things. I guess the purpose of me doing it now is to encourage those of you out there who's going through the same thing, or knows of someone who's going through the same thing, that you're not alone. There's always someone watching over us, and yeah, like how Per has watched over me.
Hello, Perryn. This is Daddy here. How are you? Yes, Perryn, it has been a year now since you left us. We miss you a lot. Daddy has been thinking about you. Yes, I've been thinking about you in your present. When you come over for lunch or for dinner, or when we go out for gatherings, we have a good time together and we always have a good conversation. Yes, Daddy miss those gatherings with you a lot. When you travel overseas, you're always thinking about us. You always bring back some little gift from your travel for me and for Janet. That demonstrates the generosity of your heart and your mind. Yes, today is 31st October and it's the last day of the lockdown in Melbourne. Tomorrow we can travel. However, Daddy may not be able to travel for a while. Daddy just had an eye operation and eating went well. My vision is still blurred. Hopefully, the eye specialist can do something about my eyes and restore my blurred vision, and Daddy can travel again. Perryn, I know you're up in heaven. Give my regards to your sister. I know you're sitting next to your Creator and you're looking down on us. Don't worry, you know that we are fine. Daddy is fine, and Vivian is also fine. We will meet one day again up in heaven. Bye, Perryn. Daddy miss you a lot.
I first met Perryn in 2015 when she and Andrew got married in Melbourne. I was so happy to welcome her to my sister Janet's family. That beautiful afternoon and evening in the Yarra Valley are some of the happiest memories I have. More happy memories followed when we all went to Fiji for the wedding a year later. But with my very few visits to Melbourne, I wish I had got to know Perryn better. So I was very glad when she made the CANster videos. They are very candid videos made at a time of great stress. Through the videos, I got to know Perryn a lot better. In the videos, I saw a Perryn who is loving and caring, how she loves God, her love for her friends and workmates, and how she was even thinking of others in spite of her own condition. So Perryn, even though a year has gone by, you're always in my heart till we meet again.
Hi Per, I'm at Botanic Garden. Can you see? Yeah, I'm at Botanic Garden with Lawrence, with my 3 dogs. Just to say, time flies. It's already a year you have left us. Just want to tell you, I miss you, Perryn. Miss you very, very much.
In remembrance of my beloved Caroline. Caroline, you have been blessed and you have been blessing to so many of us. And here is the day we want to remember you. I remember you when you wrote to me and said, "You are my greatest grandpa and I love you lots." I remember you when you and your family joined Full Gospel Assembly and you were so active in the youth group. I remembered you gave your life to Jesus Christ and you committed your life to Him. I remembered you very clearly when you joined OTI Consulting. That was my company. And you were such a great blessing to us. So all of us love you so much. And we honor you for your excellent performance. I remember you very, very clearly when even in your deathbed, you call up Grandpa Khoo and you blessed me on my birthday. I remembered you when you were returning to Melbourne after your visit in Singapore, and you brought your father to reconcile with him at my home, fulfilling Malachi 4:5-6. You know, there's a verse in the Bible that describes you. That is Revelation chapter 14, verse 13, and I read, "Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord, and from now on, yes, says the scripture, that they may rest from their labors, and their works follow them." Praise the Lord. You know, you have touched so many lives and transformed so many lives in Jesus. Yes, your works follow you even now. I know of a scripture that best describes you. Isaiah 43:4. The Lord says to you, "You are so precious to me, and I honor you, Carolyn, and I love you, Carolyn." And then I said, "I will give people, men for you, and people for your life." You have touched many lives. God bless you, and we love you even right now when you are with Abba Father in heaven. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life as you dwell now in the house of the Lord. Amen.
Thank you, Auntie Amberly, for letting me record this message for Per. I didn't think I'd get a chance to speak to her again, Earthside. Yeah. So, hi, Per. 1 year, huh? 1 year of not talking to you. It's been crazy. I miss you so much. Yeah, I wish you were still here so we can talk every day, but of course that's selfish of me because you're obviously having a way better time up in heaven. Yeah. But yeah, I remember when you were gonna tell me that you were sick, you were like, "Huis, whatever I tell you right now, I want you not to worry. Don't worry for me, because yeah, I am believing for a miracle." And yeah, I just want to let you know I haven't stopped cheering you on. Even up to now, I still celebrate you. Yeah, I'm so lucky to have like experienced our friendship. I wish we didn't cancel our last lunch before Melbourne went into lockdown. We didn't realize that was going to be our last opportunity to have lunch together. Yeah, but also at the same time, I was so lucky to spend so much time with you. Remember, like, when you were having your chemo and then you called me and then we were talking until you fell asleep. And then you were still talking when you were sleeping. And then Andrew had to tell me, like, "Oh, Per actually fell asleep while having chemo talking to you." I was like, "What? No, she was still talking." She's like, "Yeah, no, she was gone." And then also I remember the last time we hung out was at Box Hill. And I remember you straightened your hair. And then you asked me, "Hey, do I look at alien? I straightened my hair." And then you know what? Guess what? Andrew actually gave me your straightener. So it's my turn to straighten my hair now. And every time I straighten my hair, I have a conversation with you. I wonder if you can hear it. But yeah, after all this time, I think one person I really wish he had met was Miles. Yeah. Actually, you were the first person to have ever prayed over him, and you prayed so beautifully. I remember it so well. Hang on, I'm going to get him. So this is Miles. Yeah, I wish you had met him. You would have loved him. He would have loved you. He's a giver of kisses. He would have given you so many kisses. Yeah, well, yeah. But just thank you so much for being such a gift. You have given many good gifts to me, and you continue to be a gift to me. I still miss you every day. celebrating you 1 year on. Miss you so much. Yeah, okay. I hope to speak to you soon. It's not forever, I just have to wait to see you heaven side. Yeah. Love you, Pa.
Hi everyone, it's Alan here. I'm Perryn's friend and work colleague. I can't believe it's been 1 year without Perryn. Although it's been quite challenging without her, I do feel like she's left such a great impact that we never really forget about her, and there's a bit of Perryn in all of us. She was such a bubble of positivity, energy and light that we really can't forget about her. Even now when I do face difficult obstacles, I always think, what would Perryn do, and sort of change my mindset just for me to be a better person as well. Perryn, we miss you so much. We never forget about you. Love you so much, Perryn. Wish she used to hate recalling her, but love you so much, Perryn. Bye.
Hi, Per. So it's been a year since you left us, and it's been a very weird year for me without you, because I realized that I do celebrate many of my milestones and special days with you. Even if you are not here, we used to call each other and talk about those. You know, from the birthdays to the anniversaries, everything is a memory of you. And even April Fool's Day, which we'd always play pranks on each other, mainly me pranking you. And this year it was very, very weird that I couldn't do that to you. But it's very rare that a day passes in which I don't think of you. But I know that you're in a better place now, and I know that you are always looking at us. I always remember the great memories we had together, and until we are reunited again, just know that I love you so much, Perryn, and I do miss you so, so much.
Hi guys, it's been almost a year since Perryn's departure, and I thought I'd share some of my thoughts and experiences since her leaving. Perryn's not the first person close to me whom I've lost, but she is the first person as one of my closest and best friends. And it would be untruthful of me to say that I have been consciously making it a habit to think of her every day. But what is true is that whenever a thought or whatever, if anything triggers a thought or a memory of her, I do make sure that I hold on to the thought as long as possible and really extrapolate all the feelings and emotions and just hold on to it as long as I can. And these triggers that I speak of, these are anything that happened like in everyday life. An example would be having overheard a stranger's laughter which likens that of Perryn, or just a general thought or an idea that I'm either, from watching TV or anything that I know that she would have thought was funny will come to mind. I'll just hold on to it and then really think about how comes that this memory come to mind, and why is it that it reminds me of her, or how does it associate with her. And it's just been very insightful in that it's allowed me to better understand the meaning, in living memory. and, you know, also to better understand that, yeah, of course, departure is it's unchangeable. But having said that, I'm still happy to know that Perryn, you know, still shows up every now and then, veiled in everyday occurrences. And so she's still been with me in thoughts and in memories. And yeah, that's how it's been for me. Yeah, thank you.
Perryn, when I first met you for the first time, I was really impressed with your character, a character that shows love and kindness to people, and it's something that I always remember for a long time. We treat you as a part of our family, and we treasure the good times we had together.
Hi Perryn, Auntie Mel miss your bubbly and caring nature.
Hi Perryn, I really miss hanging out with our doggo friends and going for walks and coffees, and I still feel like you're always around me wherever I go, and you're very much not forgotten. Love you very much.
Hi Perryn, remembering all the good times, such as the time that you destroyed everyone at Taboo at a Christmas Eve dinner party, and the other time where I accidentally bumped into you and Andrew at Alhambra. But yeah, remember all the good times and miss you a lot.
Hey Perryn, we miss you. We've been missing you every day. We miss your energy, your positivity, and your strength. You bought me this plant last year when I was recovering. It started with one single stem, and now it has grown into a pot plant with multiple branches. I know you're here guarding us. You're our guardian angel, and you will always be with us. We are both really thankful to have you in our lives. Also, if it wasn't because of your energy, your compassion, and how you are so good at bringing people together, I wouldn't be able to have met Ben. We'll always cherish the joys, the memories, the partying moments, and all the fun we've had together in the past. Thanks for creating all these memories with us, with everyone around us. In our last 12 years of friendship, I always knew you would be the person I would go to, and I also really miss having those moments bitching with you about our boyfriends and now husbands. Thank you for being such a supportive friend. You motivated and inspired me when I moved away from my family, and thank you for growing with us. And I know you have made a lot of positive impacts on a lot of people's lives as well. Thank you. We love you, babe.
Kia ora whānau. I'm trying to make this real quick for my heart for Perryn and at this time, and the scriptures that keep coming to me are John 11:25-26, and as it says, I'm the resurrection and the life, and the one who believes in me will live even though he die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die. And I believe that with all my heart. Our two girls are alive, and for you, Andrew and Yeronn and Perryn and all the other family members, knowing that those two girls are safe in the arms of Jesus. And I want to shout out, we are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses, Hebrews 12 verse 1, and yes, I am looking at the night sky when on the farm by Murray and Hannah down south, and the Milky Way glistening in the dark sky, and yeah, I just know God created all things, and he created our girls, and he's made a place for them in heaven. And so I just want to quickly say my appreciation for Perryn, the most godly young woman I'd ever met, and she called us out. She called us out to lean into Jesus, lean into the Word, trust in him with all my heart, with all my soul. And she called out my talents that I didn't even know I had. And when she asked would I marry them up in Fiji and then do Pammy's ashes the next day, what a blessing. And so thank you whānau. I'll now hand over to Zohnia.
Good evening, everybody. My name's Zohnia Mac New Zealand, and I had the pleasure of knowing Perryn through her beautiful sister Pamela, who lived in our home while she was studying in New Zealand back in the 1990s. So Perryn, we've kind of feel like we've known her for a really long time. Had the privilege, my mum and I had the privilege of going to her wedding with her and Ma in Fiji, and that was just so beautiful. And she was just the most amazing, beautiful bride, and we really appreciated how great she was at welcoming us and making us feel so much a part of everything, and the way she introduced us to all her friends and her family. And it was like hospitality was just, she was just amazing. And that is something I'll always remember about her. It was her beautiful smile and her wonderful laugh, and how she just made everybody feel so very welcome, even though it was her big day. She made everyone else feel really special. So yeah, it's one of the many things that we just really loved about her. So bless you all. Lots of love from Christchurch, New Zealand.
Hello Perryn's friends and family. My name is LJ, and I used to be Perryn's colleague at work and best friend. Can't believe that it's been a year already since the passing of our beloved Perryn. Not a day passes by without me remembering her, or remembering a thing that we used to do together, remembering her wisdom. And she was a yes woman, and I learned that from her. And I learned that I need to, take every and each adventure. I learned that I have to be more forgiving, just like she was. And she's forever in our hearts and our minds. And we miss her a lot every single day. So this video is for all of us, I guess, just to share how awesome Perryn was, and hopefully we get to see her again. Thank you.
Hi folks, I hope everybody's doing well. Obviously it's a pretty tough anniversary, but it's always nice to reflect on Perryn and her legacy, I suppose. It's weird thinking that it's only been a year since she's been gone. I don't know if it's lockdown or just missing PK, but it feels like it's been a long time. I always find myself reflecting on some of the things that PK said to me over the years. She was full of so much wisdom. Anyway, look, I don't want to talk for too long, but I just wanted to say, obviously, we miss PK, everybody from WME and surrounding, everybody misses her. But it's just a real honour to have known her, and it's an honour to honour her on her anniversary. I hope everyone's keeping well and keeping safe. Thanks guys, bye.
Thanks Emily for inviting me to do this video tribute to Perryn. So if I may be allowed to, I'd like to do this prayer to Jesus. Dear Lord God, I want to thank you for the life of Perryn. I thank you that you brought us into our lives. I thank you for the vivacity, the joy, the love, the joy of living that we experienced in her, and the way, Lord, she always had a smile and time to talk to you, even though she was so many other people wanting time. So, Lord, I thank you for the way I've seen her grown as a pastor of FGA, grown from the children's ministry to the youth and then to the young adults. And after that, to see her grow, and she went to Melbourne to study and the church there in Melbourne. So I just want to thank you for her life. But thank you, Lord, the way you took her from a fledgling faith to a real encounter with you, where she really trusted you, and this faith was evident during the last few months of her life. We all got together to pray for her, and Lord, I also thank you for being part of this team for churches in Singapore and Melbourne, who all came together with one thought, Lord, because we loved it at the parade and wanted her healed. Lord, though you saw fit to take her home, we still thank you. And Lord, I just want to pray for this team here now, that Lord, all of us will be touched by Perryn's faith and love and continue to serve you, Lord, faithfully with the same love, the same joy of living that we saw during the time of cancer. And that, Lord, we would be faithful to you and serve you all the days of life until we meet together with each other and Perryn at your feet in heaven, Lord Jesus. For in your name we pray. Amen.
Hi, Andrew and Emily and Harry and Yeronn. I know you want to celebrate this, you call it the first birthday of Perryn, and we know that on the November the 8th last year, Bible says absent from the body is to be present with God. It actually means that she has migrated from the physical body into heaven, where she is a citizen in heaven. And I was thinking about this video clip, and the word joy came into my thought, and I believe that this is the theme that I want to emphasize on. And we really don't understand joy on this earth, on this side of heaven. We can't understand joy fully. We can't understand love fully until we are in the presence of God. Where Perryn now is, she understands joy. What joy is, she understands, because there is no other any earthly elements in that joy, because it's fully heavenly joy, fully joy of God, fully Christ, and fully joy. And also, Bible says that 1,000 years on earth is a day in heaven. You know, so Perryn, actually for her, she just arrived and perhaps have not even taken breakfast yet. But she rejoices in the Lord, and we are comforted that she is rejoicing in the Lord together with Pam, together maybe with people that she knows, and I'm sure she has a lot of friends there, and we are comforted. And the greatest comfort that we have is we will see her again, and I believe the rapture is soon, and we will see her. And that is a comfort. We will see her, and we'll be rejoicing together with her. And we can celebrate and really celebrate together. And I thank you for this honor to give me a little bit of time to share this with you. God bless you, and we love you.
Hi, Emily and Yeronn and the friends of Perryn. On behalf of my wife Angelina, my two daughters Carissa and Karina, who have known Perryn since they were little girls, we bring you greetings and the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ. Time has passed by so fast, and that now is almost a year since the passing away of Perryn. I must say that it has been our privilege, especially in the last year of Perryn's life, that we reconnected with her, prayed with her, and journeyed with her. I must highlight the fact that she was so positive in this struggle in the last year of her life. And I can summarize that the last phase of her life, she has kept the words of the Apostle Paul, in that she has fought the good fight, she has kept the faith, and she has run the race. I wish you all the best, and God bless you.
Hi, I'm Helen. Perryn was just 18 or 19 years old when I got to know her. Fresh from school, she was my youngest colleague. Always cheerful, always giggly, but at the same time, she took her work very seriously. She had an acute sense of intuition and she listened to it and she ministered to me. There was a stretch of time that things weren't going so well at the office. One day, she sat me down and in a very quiet voice, she shared what she was sensing and her observations, and then she prayed for me. Subsequently, she prayed for me several times, and every time she was really spot on. She became my spiritual advisor, my sounding board, and my prayer warrior. She just showed up. Then she left for Melbourne. But the beauty was, whenever we reconnected during her visits back to Singapore, it was as if Perryn hadn't left. And that's the beauty of sweet Perryn. I was a beneficiary of her courage, love, and care.
Hey, Perryn, it's been a year since God called you back to be with Him. But I just wanted to let you know that I still think about you a lot because, well, I guess there's so many reminders of you, like, in my place. Like, every other thing probably that I own is from you, like, say, or something that we did together. So, like, up there, we painted that together. Let's see, I'll go into a random room and I'll show you that there's something that will remind me of you here. So, okay, strange. Ended up in the bathroom, but sure. Okay, like this. You gave that to me when I was about to give birth. You said, soak a pad in witch hazel, put it in the freezer, and then stick it on your lady bits. Too much information. I should have scripted this. Every room I go to, literally, give me that. Even this. I still haven't used it. I haven't begun journaling the Christian planner. I'll do that tomorrow. But yeah, I think about you when I drive past all the cafes we visited together, the massage places we used to go to, everything like that. So many memories, but I'm sure you are happy now and no longer suffering. That's the most important thing. Miss you heaps. Charlene is still talking about you a lot too.
Hey Emily, it's Greg, reaching out to you and to Andrew and to all your family to let you know that I'm thinking of you at this very sad time of the passing of Perryn. And whilst it's sad that we reflect on her loss, it's also a lovely time for us to reflect on what a special person she was and how special it was to have her in our lives. I'm sending you this message from my friend's farm in the country, and it's a beautiful rose garden, and it's just so lovely as I walk through here this afternoon. It reminds me of P, how she was so bright and colourful and brought so much joy into our life as all these beautiful flowers do. And you know, I think about her so much, and I think about the wisdom that she brought into our lives, the friendship, the laughter, the love. They're all the things we miss, but at the same time, they're all the things we were so lucky to have and to share with her while she was with us. So I send you and your family all my very best thoughts and wishes on this occasion, and I'll pick a rose, take it inside, and all through the week I'll remember just how lovely it was to have Perryn so close to us. I wish you all the very best. I send you my best wishes. Take very good care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, bye.
Hi, Pa. I know it's been a year, but I still get into a bit of a mess every time I talk about you or hear a song that, we used to sing to or dance to. What gives me comfort is knowing that you are your sister Pam and that you're watching over all of us. After hearing all those wonderful messages, I'm sure it comes as no surprise that you've brought so much light and joy into everyone's lives. I, for one, am honored and privileged to have known you, to have become your best friend, to have been loved unconditionally by you, and to have learned from you. Just know that I will cherish our memories for us, and you'll always be in our hearts. So till we meet again, love you.